What's up, Bulls Nation? It's the Bloody Horns podcast. I'm your host, Justin, here to give you the daily content. Let's talk about Zach LaVine and Coby White. The DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic era, over. It's like Vince Carter in that 2000 dunk contest. It's over. We need to end that shit. This needs to be Zach LaVine and Coby White's team. Last night's game, very frustrating game. Probably our most frustrating game of the year. I damn near had a heart attack. It was an up and down the last 4 minutes there. You know, one positive we can take from it is last year's team, they'd have blown that shit. Last year's team would have lost. You can argue that we pretty much blew that shit last night, being up 12 with 4 minutes left and then having to go into overtime. But this year's team, man, we got a little more grit to us, and they found a way to pull it out. Thanks to Zach LaVine, thanks to Coby White. You know, Nikola Vucevic, very frustrating last night. 0 of 5 from 3. I turned to my fiance when we had the ball with 40 seconds left. We were inbounding it, and I told her we're about to do some dumb shit. And what did they do? They drew up a play for a Nikola Vucevic 3. Coaching malpractice. I don't know why you would do that. I said on Twitter last night, whoever convinced Nikola Vucevic he's a three-point shooter, they need to be banished from the game of basketball. Vooch, you can't shoot. Your 40% year in Orlando, that was an aberration, my guy. You are 27% on 4 attempts this year. That's horrible. That percentage is probably down. That was before last night's game. That percentage has probably dropped to 24, 25% with your 0-5 game last night from 3. Stop shooting threes, my guy. Stay around the basket. Hit your mid-range stuff. DeMar DeRozan, I don't know what the hell that was at the end of the game, my guy. You know, I'm a huge DeMar DeRozan fan. Might be the biggest DeMar DeRozan fan in the world, especially because my fanship of DeMar starts long before his Bulls days. But I can't defend what he did last night, man. That was a dog shit game. He was isolating too much. He was forcing up way too many shots. He wasn't passing worth shit. I kept yelling at the TV, pass the ball, my guy. And then that last play, you know, why are we drawing it up to inbound to DeMar DeRozan with 23 seconds left to let him hold the ball for 15 seconds, dribble the ball for 8 more seconds, and chuck up a garbage mid-range shot with 6'10" Jabari Smith in his face? That is more coaching malpractice, Billy Donovan. Be better. That's all we're asking for, is for you to be better. I don't know what that was. It was horrible. But last night in overtime, it really showed this needs to be Zach LaVine and Coby White's team. When we were up 12 with, 4 minutes left, Coby White had 27 points. Guess how many points he had at the end of regulation? 27 points. Fucking bullshit. I don't know why you take the ball out of Coby White's hands to end the game. We saw this last year in that playing game in Miami. Billy Donovan took Coby White out when he was heating up with 3-4 minutes left, and we lost that game. I maintain to this day that Heat Finals run would have never happened if we just trusted Coby White in that playing game. We would have won that game. We wouldn't have went to the finals, but we would have won that game. We would have got into the playoffs. And then we saw more DeMar DeRozan isolation. You know, the Houston Rockets, from that 3-minute stretch to the first 2 minutes of overtime, they went on, a 12-0 run? That's insane. That's crazy. It might even be more than a 12-0 run, because we were down 6 there in overtime for a bit, until Zach LaVine caught fire, until Coby White caught fire. So this team, you know, we need to stop running through DeMar DeRozan, need to stop running through Nikola Vucevic, run through Coby White and Zach LaVine. Coby White was deadly last night from everywhere. He was hitting big threes. He was getting into the paint. His mid-range game was cooking. He was setting up teammates. Coby White was flat out fantastic last night. And last night was the best Zach LaVine game we've seen in a long time. You know, he was efficient. He was creating for others. He was rebounding. He was playing defense. He was doing everything we want to see Zach LaVine do. And I think he can consistently give that type of effort because we're not asking as much from him on the offensive side of the ball. We're being a little bit more efficient with how we use Zach LaVine on the offensive side of the ball. In years past, we'd give him the ball, tell him to isolate, create his own shot, and that wears a dude down. So, you know, if he was taking defensive plays off to get his legs under him because he knew he was going to carry a heavy offensive burden, I can understand that. I'm not going to excuse it, but I can understand that. We see LeBron James do that every damn night. So I can understand it. Now, this year, we got Coby White. Coby White is a great creator for himself and for others. Coby White pushes the pace. Coby White creates easier opportunities for Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine doesn't need to exert as much effort on the offensive side. He can be more efficient. He doesn't have to shoot as much, and he'll still get his numbers. Look at last night. He played within the flow of the offense, and he got the usual scoring numbers that we're used to seeing from him without having to force anything. So if this team wants to take the next step, or this team wants to maximize its talent, stop playing through DeMar DeRozan. Stop playing through Nikola Vucevic. Stacey King has been hammering for years that we need to feed Vooch, play through Vooch. Fuck that noise, dude. Feed Zach LaVine. Feed Coby White. Play through those guys. Be a fast-paced, perimeter-oriented team. DeMar DeRozan, he'll still get his. There's still going to be opportunities for him. You know, Coby White's not a selfish player. Zach LaVine, we're seeing last night, he had, 7, 8 assists. He's not going to be a selfish player in this offense if we keep using him like this. So DeMar DeRozan's still going to get his opportunities, but we do not need to run plays where DeMar is going to hold the ball and be asked to create and be asked to dominate the offense. That just doesn't need to be what we do. And Nikola Vucevic, you can still get yours on pick and pop opportunities, on Coby White, drawing the defense into him when he's driving, when he's using his speed, kicking it out to you. We don't need to run high post stuff through Vooch. We don't need to rely on his passing, you know. Vooch's passing, while it's nice, he's a decent passer. I feel like sometimes we overstate him as a passer. Last night's matchup was a great indication of that. You know, Şengün, he's a damn good passer. Şengün is truly a passer who can create for his teammates. Nikola Vucevic can't really create for his teammates. Now, he's tall. He has good vision. When the double team comes, he can flip it out, you know, to the other side of the court, and he can make good passes, but he's not naturally a creator through his passing. So this idea that we should be running high post stuff through him and he should be, you know, feeding others and creating through him, through his assists, I don't buy into it. I think that most of his looks need to come off the pick and pop, off letting Zach LaVine draw the defense in, off letting Coby White drive the defense in. You know, Andre Drummond, when he was starting, he got a lot of easy looks just from hanging around the basket and being there for those dump-off passes. So that's what I want to see going forward from this team. We need to end the DeMar DeRozan era. We need to end the Nikola Vucevic era. And I don't mean we need to trade them. You know, if a trade happens, I'm not going to be mad, obviously, but they can still be on the team. They can still be productive role players on the team. Keep in mind, both these guys are in year 15. The idea of them being the focal point of the offense should be long gone. So they can stay on the team, but the era of running everything through them, we need to end it. It just needs to be over. This needs to be Zach LaVine and Coby White's team. I've been saying I don't think a Zach LaVine trade is happening this year. You know, if he keeps playing like last night, teams are going to call and offer a lot for him. But if we can run efficient offense through him and efficient offense through Coby White, and they can be the centric forces in our offense, we're going to play better. Zach LaVine's going to look better. He's going to be happier, and we're going to have a lot more success. So I looked at our next stretch. We could easily win the next 3 games, get up to 500, and really be a team to be reckoned with. You saw national media take notice last night. Bill Simmons tweeted we're a top 6 team in the East with the way we're playing right now. So people are taking notice. Let's ride this momentum and let's run this offense through Coby White, through Zach LaVine. So if you guys aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow this page a little bit. Got daily videos on here. Usually I keep them to 5 minutes. I went a little bit longer today, so my bad on that. If you haven't heard the new podcast, it's up on Apple. It's up on Spotify. We're talking about the Bulls potentially bringing in Jonathan Kuminga. Big fan of that. He's my #1 trade target for them right now. If you're not following on Twitter, it's @HornsBloody. Same handle as on here. Same thing with the Instagram. I got that up and running again, @HornsBloody. Throw me a follow on either. Shoot me a message. Let's talk hoops. Bulls are back tomorrow night with the Warriors. Good chance to keep this momentum rolling. Let's hope they run through Zach and Coby.